In today's Whiteboard Leadership moment, I want to talk about gaining understanding in the midst of change. Most of the time in the life of the church, you have people who have different opinions about the past and different opinions about the future. And what you're trying to do is bring everyone together, united in spirit and intent on one purpose. One of the tools you can use to actually get people on the same page is called an A.P.A chart. A.P.A stands for Achieve, Protect, Avoid. It involves three conversations. The first conversation is, what are the things that we want to achieve in the coming years? As we focus on the future, what are the few things that everyone can agree on that we want to make sure are part of that? We always establish this conversation about the future, about where we want to head and what we agree on with that. It could be things like we want to grow in size. We want to have several campuses. We want to be more missions-oriented or more evangelistic or more prayerful or more generous. What are the things that we want to achieve? And make a list of those things. But then you have to go, and people who are more futuristic love this column. But people who are less and more apprehensive and more concerned about change, they'll fill out this column more. So what do we want to protect? What is it about our past? What is it about our present that we just don't want to lose? You may things like a sense of family, a feel of connection, being centered on the gospel, our worship style. All those things may be things here we want to protect, things that we already have, things that we're protecting from the past that we want to make sure that we keep. And then finally, what do we want to avoid? What do we want to avoid? And the things in the avoid column could be anything from maybe things that people want to achieve over here. Now they may speak up. These people may speak up over here and say, well, we want to avoid this. We want to avoid the loud music, or we want to avoid division. We want to avoid splitting. We want to avoid all these other things. We want to avoid the tensions we see in other churches. We want to avoid financial ruin, and make these lists. After you make the three lists, what you do is you say, well, where do we see common ground? Where do we see connection? And maybe there's something here in the achieve about the future, that there's something contrary over here on the avoid or protect, but they're connected to each other. These are conversation pieces. These are things that are going to connect to each other because this is a conversation that needs to be had, needs to be reconciled. That some people want to achieve something that other people want to avoid, and this is a tension point for us as a church and as an organization. Whereas others will be very thematic where we want to achieve this. In order to achieve this, we have to protect this and we have to avoid that. But you look for the common ground and have the conversations. And then you look back as a leader and you say, so what are the issues that we need to address? I mean, can we progress without addressing these things? You probably can. And so this is a great understanding piece, getting people who are from different backgrounds together and talk about where they want to head in the future. Pray with them, talk with them, take the different lists that you come up with about the issues, and then have conversations based on this process. Have conversations and pray that God will give you breakthroughs in the future as you achieve, protect, and avoid the things that will help you move forward in ministry. This has been a Converge Whiteboard Leadership Moment. To learn more about Converge or to join us, check out converge.org.